Pendle Hill, a true tale of witchcraft and haunting. Pendle Hill rises majestically from the Lancashire landscape, its towering peak a constant fixture on the skyline. Known for its breathtaking views and rugged beauty, the hill holds a darker secret, one that has been whispered about for centuries. Pendle Hill is synonymous with the infamous Pendle Witch Trials of 1612, one of the most notorious witch hunts in British history. The story of the Pendle Witch Trials, their trial and the execution, is not just a piece of history, it's an unsettling and eerie chapter that continues to haunt the hill to this day. Even now, visitors to Pendle Hill often report strange phenomena, eerie occurrences, and the palpable sense of something otherworldly, as if the land itself holds on to the tragedy that unfolded there. The story begins in the early 17th century, a time when superstition and fear of witchcraft ran rampant across England. In 1612, 12 people from the area surrounding Pendle Hill, men and women, some as young as 9 years old, were accused of witchcraft and brought to trial. The accusations were rooted in superstition, but many believed that the accused had made pacts with the devil, using their powers to harm people and animals in the area. The trial, which took place in Lancaster, was one of the most infamous witch hunts in English history, and it would change Pendle Hill forever. The 12 accused, known as the Pendle Witches, were brought before a court and, after a harrowing trial, found guilty of practicing witchcraft. 10 of them were hanged, and one, an old woman named Demdike, died in prison before she could face execution. Only one, a woman named Alice Nutter, was acquitted. The rest met a gruesome fate, their bodies swinging from the gallows in Lancaster, their spirits condemned to haunt the very hill where they had lived and had been accused. The Pendle Witch Trials are a well-documented historical event, but the stories surrounding the hill itself are shrouded in mystery. Locals claim that the land was forever cursed by the executions, with the restless spirits of the witches still haunting Pendle Hill to this day. Many who visit Pendle Hill report a sense of unease, particularly when they venture close to the summit. Some claim to feel as if they are being watched, while others describe an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the land itself is alive with anger or sorrow. The ghosts of the Pendle witches are said to wander the hill, trapped in a spectral purgatory, forever bound to the place where they met their tragic end. One of the most frequently encountered spirits is that of a woman in black, often seen near the summit or along the lower paths leading up the hill. Described as a shadowy figure draped in dark clothing, she is said to be the spirit of Alice Nutter, one of the accused witches who was found not guilty and was later released. However, it is said that she was still marked by the curse of Pendle Hill, a place where she could never truly escape. She is often seen wandering alone, her face hidden in shadow, and those who encounter her report a strange coldness in the air and an unshakable feeling of sorrow and loss. Another commonly reported apparition is that of an old woman with a hunched back. Described as having a craggy face and tattered clothing, many believe this to be the ghost of Demdike, the oldest of the Pendle witches, who died in prison before she could be executed. Some visitors to Pendle Hill claim they have seen her wandering the lower slopes, her ghostly form barely visible in the mist. Barely visible, should I say, in the mist. Others report hearing her muttering strange words or feeling a sudden chill, as if the very air has turned cold with the touch of death. The most unsettling aspect of these hauntings is the sense that the spirits of the Pendle witches are not at rest. They are said to walk the land in search of justice, and their sorrow and anger have left a permanent mark on Pendle Hill. The chilling atmosphere that surrounds the hill has been described as oppressive, as if the spirits of the witches are watching, waiting for their voices to be heard. In addition to the spectral appearances, many visitors to Pendle Hill also report strange occurrences that seem to defy explanation. One of the most unnerving is the presence of witch marks found on trees and rocks along the hill's paths. These marks, carved symbols, strange patterns and crosses, are believed to be the work of the witches, who use them as protective charms or symbols of their power. Some claim that the marks are still visible today, and that they seem to appear and disappear depending on where you look. It's not uncommon for hikers or visitors to feel that they are being followed or that they are walking in circles, as if the path itself is changing. Some claim to hear the faint sound of footsteps behind them, even when no one else is around. Others report that the landscape seems to shift around them, with paths becoming suddenly unfamiliar, or the views changing as if the hill itself is alive, reacting to their presence. It's as if the witches' spirits are playing tricks, guiding or misdirecting those who tread too close to their domain. One particularly eerie account comes from a man who, while hiking alone, stumbled across a small weathered stone circle near the summit of Pendle Hill. As he stepped closer, he felt a strong pull, an invisible force that seemed to draw him in. He described feeling disorientated, as though time had slowed down. Suddenly, he was struck by a powerful sensation of being surrounded by figures, though no one was visible. The air around him grew inexplicably cold, and he could hear whispers in the wind, whispers in a language he didn't understand. The experience left him shaken, and when he finally managed to escape the circle, he found that he had wandered far off his intended path. One of the most unsettling aspects of Pendle Hill is the way the mist seems to come alive, often enveloping the hill in a thick, impenetrable fog that obscures vision and creates an eerie atmosphere. It is within this mist that many suitors and visitors have reported seeing strange, dark shapes moving rapidly through the fog, but never fully revealing themselves. Some believe these figures are the restless souls of the Pendle witches, still trapped on the hill and forever bound to its misty slopes. In one particular disturbing account, a couple hiking near the top of the hill reported seeing a dark figure moving toward them within the mist. As it grew closer, the figure appeared to be a tall, gaunt woman with long flowing hair and a face twisted in agony. The couple, frozen with fear, watched as the figure came closer and closer, only to vanish when they tried to turn and run. When they looked back, they saw nothing but the mist swirling around them. The sensation of being watched lingered, and they quickly left the hill, their hearts pounding with a fear they couldn't explain. Today, Pendle Hill remains a place of pilgrimage for those fascinated by its beauty and its dark history. It draws thousands of visitors each year who come to hike its trails, enjoy the panoramic views, and learn about the area's rich history. Yet for many, there is an unmistakable sense of something more, a presence that lingers just beyond the veil of the natural world, a sense that Pendle Hill is more than just a physical location, but a place bound by the spirits of the past. The ghosts of the Pendle witches, their tragic fate etched into the land, continue to haunt the hill. Whether it's the shadowy figures that emerge from the mist, the eerie whispers carried on the wind, or the strange, inexplicable occurrences that unsettle hikers and visitors, Pendle Hill is a place where history and the supernatural are forever intertwined. And for those who venture into its depths, the spirits of the past are never far behind.